DNF finally got a balanced patch that did more than just fix infinite glitches, and people are pretty underwhelmed. By now we've heard all the dooming about DNF being dead just 2 months in or whatever, but make no mistake, there are actually people, like myself, who still greatly enjoy playing the game and watching it at a high level. It just needs to generate hype again. What we really need is some DLC, so fingers crossed for an announcement this week at CO Otaku or Fighting Spirit in November. But to the point, I gotta disagree with those that think the patch isn't enough. The battle mechanic developers aiding have a very clear design philosophy that they're adhering to with the game, and I think this patch emphasizes their vision. Lots of people are throwing out ideas like make guard cancel cost less, give me burst, reduce damage, make launcher do mad damage and give her good DP so I can blow people up when they get past my zoning. You know, the point is, fighting game players, and really any casually competitive video game player, misses the mark 99% of the time when they suggest balance changes. All these major system changes that y'all are expecting and clamoring for, they're simply not going to happen, or at least no time soon. Don't forget, the game is in the middle of the Arc Reveltour. ArcSys put this game up side by side with their flagship Guilty Gear Strive, the most popular anime game. Both games having an equal $100,000 prize pool, so they aren't going to shift around entire system mechanics in the middle of a tournament circuit. Yeah, right now there's not a lot of hope for future content to inspire people to keep playing, but for those of us that are still playing, the patch is a very good sign towards future changes. So off the bat, there are several approaches to balancing a game. Most people only know what they don't like. It's very rare that they actually know how to fix it. So what do? Striker's gapless block string that she could pull off pretty much from round start, nerfed. Hitman's DP in Awakening has a lot more counterplay now because they reduced the frame advantage. And Swiftmaster, this was an absolute masterclass in game balance. Swift was really overpowered pretty much from day one. Instead of taking away one super strong thing that he had, they made a lot of changes to several aspects of his designs. Most of those changes being very minor, but in totality, it turned him from a high-powered glass cannon character to more of a mix-up and reset-intensive speedy nuisance type, which is really what he should have been all along, and maybe that's what they had in mind when they designed him, but lost sight of it somewhere along the way. And all these changes are good, but people aren't satisfied with good. They wanted more. So now, 2 months, and this is all we got, 3 characters kinda nerfed? Well, they're playing it the right way within the scope of competitive balance. They let the first qualifier come, only patching the infinites out. Goichi won, of course, because the Arc Reveltour is really like the Goichi gamer fun because he's so good at anime fighting games. They said, hey, is Swiftmaster really too strong, or are the strongest players just playing the best character? Evo and versus fighting tournaments made it pretty clear that he was simply overtuned. But where are the buffs? Everybody wants to know, my character is not as strong as XYZ character, I need buffs. Why did you not give them to me? ArcSys and Aiding are basically saying, y'all don't even really know the game yet. Meta balance in a competitive environment is very fragile, and for all the accusations of being a kusoge, people don't understand that DNF is super tightly designed. Aiding developed a battle design framework that has a vice grip over what is possible, and along with that design philosophy comes such a delicate ecosystem. Bad characters are more bad when good characters are more good. Simple as that. So when good characters are less good, you want to see how large the gap that remains between character strength is before you make further adjustments. Or you'll just end up with a new set of overpowered characters and you didn't really balance the game, you just cycled out the competitive selection of characters. We see this in tons of competitive games every year, and it just leads to more and more complaining. Like for example, Swiftmaster being a little worse, right? A lot of eyes might turn to Dragon Knight as another minimum health character that can blow you up for most of your life bar off of a full screen hit. Is she top 3 now? Maybe, but let's assume yes for the purposes of the example, right? Kunoichi since launch has been a threatening character with some cute gimmicks that can look like the top character in the game sometimes. But Dragon Knight's DP blows up 90% of those gimmicks because of its crazy frame data. In a world where Dragon Knight is the best character in the game, Kuno isn't bad. She's still good, but if you mostly have to play against Dragon Knights online or at a local tournament you make it to top 8, you gotta beat 3 Dragon Knight players to win, it's probably GG at that point, you know what I'm saying? There are dozens of these tiny trade-offs, some minuscule and some matchup defining, that need to be considered when trying to balance a game. You can't say this patch didn't do its job. Just in the past month of tournament play, look at the character variety we've seen in top 8s. Ranger players, Taiga's Ghostblade, Flowchart, Ken's Berserker, Loop Rose Dragon Knight, Leiden's Grappler. We've seen very good representation in top 8, top 4, and even the characters that are winning, with just a few characters lagging behind. And they'll likely see some buffs in the next go around. It's clear to me that Arxis and Aiding are going to let another stop or two on the circuit play out, see what characters totally lack representation, and bring them in line with the rest of the roster. Is there a severe lack of communication from the publisher? Yeah. Is it possible that they'll just take a loss on this and throw away such a stunning and passionate design from Arxis and Aiding? Also yes, they've done it several times to games with bigger player bases. They literally did it to the MMO DNF Duel is based on in North America before launching the global version a few years later. They're actually quite notorious for canceling games no matter how popular they are, to be honest. But as fans of the game, all we can really do is hope that DNF doesn't fall to the wayside. So let me know in the comments what y'all want to see buffed for some of the weaker characters from your experiences online or watching tournaments like Tampa Never Sleeps and Yipes Can Opener. Till next time, peace.